Jesus said that the path to the kingdom of heaven is straight and narrow. What does he mean by that? He means the path to your dreams and your goals is straight and narrow. You can't keep veering off path and expect to achieve those goals. When you do veer off that straight and narrow path towards your goals, you don't go back on the path where you left it. It's going to set you back. Now, he also says that all humans are flawed, right? So don't expect to stay on a straight and narrow path and never veer off it. That's one thing I do want to make sure people know. We don't want to try and hold us to a standard that we can never live up to, because then you'll just end up beating yourself up and you'll end up well off the path that you started on. But trying your best to stay on that straight and narrow path is what's key. You will always veer off, but try and keep those distractions and those detours to a minimum, because as I say, when you try to get back on the path, it will set you back a little while. Now, Jesus also said, as a man thinketh, so he shall be. And what he's saying is, we need to control our thoughts. Don't just try to control actions. In fact, trying to control your actions without thoughts is futile, because it's your thoughts that create your actions. Now, you can decide and just force yourself into action for a while, but if you're still having the same thoughts that you've always had, then eventually you'll just go back to creating the same things that you've always created, because it's the thoughts that create your actions, and your actions which create your reality. So we have to go to the core. We have to change our thoughts. Now, how do we do that? Well, it's a process of seeking wisdom for a start. We have to constantly be trying to learn more wisdom. Now, that's not necessarily just learning basic knowledge and how to do this and how to do that. That's knowledge. Wisdom is innate. Wisdom is timeless. You won't get any more wisdom than reading Jesus's words, that's for sure. Now, that's one thing. We need to seek wisdom, but we also need to police our own thoughts. We need to want to change and accept change. And when we start having the same thoughts that we know didn't serve us in the past, we need to make sure that we're trying to ignore those thoughts and let them pass through our brain, because they'll still keep coming. We're programmed after all. So those thoughts that we've always had are going to keep coming for a while, until we ignore them enough where they don't even come into our head anymore. But it's a long, gradual process. It's a journey. We can't just expect to decide to do that and that's it. As I say, we will veer off path. We will struggle, and it will take a time and process of adaptation. But that is actually the fun part. It's the journey itself. If we was to just get our dreams and manifest them instantly, well, we wouldn't be satisfied. We would just look for new dreams and keep trying to manifest new things over and over and over. So whilst you're on this journey of trying to stay on this straight and narrow path, and inevitably you will veer off it, make sure you're enjoying yourself. Don't beat yourself up. As I say, you're never going to be able to stick to a straight and narrow path forever and end up at your goal. That's just not in our nature. Only Jesus himself never sinned and could do that. And he was God himself, right? So don't expect to be like that. Don't hold yourself to a standard that you can't uphold. Understand that you're human and you will veer off, so don't beat yourself up. But make sure you try to get back on that straight and narrow path as quickly as possible, and focus on what's inside here, your thoughts. Try to change who you are fundamentally from the inside. That will change how you act and how you react to events in real life, and that will change your reality.